Hey everybody, happy Monday. If you're watching this on a replay, please put in the comments, hashtag replay. Tell me what you're working on. If you're watching live, tell me hi. Tell me what you're working on tonight too. We'll give just a couple minutes to people to get logged on. I don't know how many people are going to come on tonight because I feel like it's beautiful outside. So I don't know how many people want to watch me versus seeing the sunshine and the green grass. Stacy. I'll probably say this a couple times, but I'll apologize if I start looking really, really, really red. Hi, Julie. In addition to the fact that it's back to being 76 degrees here in the shop, I got a little sunburn between yesterday and the day before. Even my eyelids. Holly working on the beach cover up. Chandra, Comfort Fade, nice. Nicole, oh good. I have a few people hanging out with me. I like that. I might have to put a cough drop in too. I would think for as glowy as the blowers are in here, it would cool things down, but it's not. Julie, you told them you're not available. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Aunt Jackie. Mary, still working on your goat cowl. Cool. Mary, are you just using scraps that you had around, or did you buy yarn specific for that project? I'm curious. Oh, thanks, Char. Noel, you got your kit. Cool. I hope you like it. Hello there, Mother. Hi, Joyce. We're working on the baklava. Excellent. I can't wait to see that one when it's done. Ashley is just like a knitting fool. She started her rickrack shawl last Saturday here for LYS Day, and she finished it yesterday. Not even I knit that fast. Okay, it's 7 o'clock, so I will go ahead and get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today's Monday, May 9th. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in downtown Saginaw, Michigan. The marketplace is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday. Deb has drop-in classes Monday nights while I'm recording in the shop. She's up in the front lobby meeting with ladies. She sometimes one person shows up, sometimes 7 people show up. So if you need help or if you just want, I would say one-on-one, but you don't know if it's one-on-one, but it's drop-in help night. So $10 for 2 hours, 6:30 to 8:30. Thursday night social knit here from, I don't know, whenever people start showing up until they decide to leave. So sometimes it's 9 or 10 at night. Saturday, Deb has drop-in help also in the afternoons, 3:30 to 5:30. All right, that's all the hours. You know, I'm just rambling away and not looking at everybody's comments. Oh, party of 5. Yes, Summer Shrub, Racina, finding off Raina with beads. Excellent. Yeah, so Aunt Jackie commented on the yellow shirt. That's my Inkers summer sweater. I do have more of those colors in. I got another shipment from Malabrigo last week, I think, and put those up on the shelf. I have another box of Malabrigo right over here that was sitting outside my door today. That might be next week's live because I also got a lot of earth yarns that I posted a picture of as kind of a teaser, and I know Tammy saw some beautiful purples in there, and there are some beautiful purples in there. Hi, E. So before I get to talking about all the yarn, we'll talk about what I am working on. I am working on my summer trellis top by Jill Zielinski, Knitterella. Well, I know I had this problem last week where if you just hold it a certain way, you can see it, but I'm making progress. Do you guys see that? It's growing. I just finished the last set of increases on the body and have a few more inches to knit and I will be done. I'll put the little, I'll put blue ribbing at the bottom like I did at the collar and the sleeves. I'm really trying to knit this the way the pattern is written, except for the fact that I'm using 2 colors, but I like how on the collar, it's this little rolled edge. And if I were to do this just for myself and not a shop sample, I probably would do the same thing on the cuffs and the bottom. I like how it looks on this with that contrast color. It looks more intentional. Sometimes we don't want that to happen. So that's what I'm working on. I am working on my 4-day sweater. I have spent probably, I would say 2.5 days dedicated to my 4-day sweater. And I'm making progress. So that's something. I can't wait until I can show that to everybody, which I think is next week. I'm pretty sure on the 16th is when she releases photos and the theme and all of that good stuff. I know we talked about that last week. So well, let's talk about things finished. I didn't finish it, but Julie did. Those of you who know Julie, you may have met her. She was in the other day and met some people that she doesn't normally see on Thursday. But you know, I've mentioned her before. She knits quite a few shop samples for us to put on display. She finished another pure local wrap and she kind of went stash diving for this one. I don't know if on the screen this neon shows as bright as it is, but it's like caution tape, not even caution tape, like reflective tape, green. So instead of 6 colors, it's 5. She did all of her lace in the white, the winter white. She put beads in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the beads. Can you see them? I can see them on my screen. Just little coral beads. But I love that it gives a completely different look to the same project. Mine is right back there. Very fall colors. This is so springy. I was playing around with what we have here. I have the pink, the light of love that she used. I have the kind of wintry white. I have kind of the pale gray that she has in there. This is the closest thing I had to, and this is what, lime, to the bright green. Her 5th color was Peachy King, which is one of Ridiculous's sparkle yarns. That's this one there, which I love. And we're out of right now, but really neat to see. She did modify repeats in some of the sections to make sure she didn't run out of yarn. Julie is really good with putting notes on her Ravelry page too of what she's done to modify things sometimes. So that's what she finished. I didn't finish anything. Now, I can talk about what I'm wearing and all the fun things around me. I am wearing, I sent Melissa the name of the pattern and now I can't remember it because I took the tag off. It's a top with unique yarn. When you look at the project photo, there we go, the zinnia top. When you look at the project photo, it looks boxy and big and not cropped. I kind of forgot that my rep told me when I received the samples they sent, I'd probably have to block them. So pre-blocked, this is what it looks like. I think it's really cute. Just eyelets, and it's just a basic boxy sweater. Don't pay any attention to front and back stripes lining up. Nobody else is going to pay attention to that either. And it's got this little, can you see the little cables on there? They do have their sleeves matching up nicely, which is cool. So this is the zinnia top. It is very, I haven't actually looked at the pattern, but looking at the pattern on the shirt, it would be an easy beginner new knitter project. It's knitting, it's yarn overs and knit two togethers, knit in pieces. What I like that they did with sending me samples is, like you can see, this is the color of the top. So you really get to see what it looks like knit up. With long rows, you see the stripes are skinnier. With the shorter rows, you get a couple more stripes, a couple more rows with each stripe. So the yarn is Unique Fingering by Earth Yarns. Any of their yarns that are called Unique are going to stripe like that. They were nice enough to send me some heavy duty color cards too, so you can see what all the colors look like. The wrap from LYS Days. Diane, you will have that pattern. There's a code to add it to your Ravelry library in your kit. So it's good through the end of June, I believe. I know she extended it quite a bit. So yeah, I like to be able to show what it looks like in skein versus what it looks like in something else knit up. So that's one of the new colors that I got, color 3021. So their fingering weight is 100% superwash merino, 435 yards in 100 grams. I don't know how many this top took. I should have weighed it, but I didn't. Another fingering weight sample they sent is this beauty of a scarf. It's got purples and blacks. This is called Anika or Anika, I don't know. ANICA. But it's one skein of earth fingering weight yarn. And this is what it looks like in the skein. So I'm trying, they are pretty good with putting on their labels the color that they used. And they don't have any names. It's just color 3020. But I think it's got a little bit of lace on it, some eyelets. Again, it's along the same lines as this top. Garter stitches, yarn over knit two together. Easy, easy, easy. It does look like it's got a little bit of a scalloped edge to it almost. But I think it's because you do knit two togethers right at the end. You might find one off. So that's fun. I like having a lot of one skein projects in the shop, and having some that show what the yarn look like is even better. I got those two colors. I got more of 3010, which is the most popular one for the butterfly papillon shawls. The three that I have here in the shop all use this colorway 3010 as their main color. So this is always what I sell out of first and what I order more of all the time. Initially, I had my camera set up the other way in the shop, but the walls were too bright. But hanging up on the wall above my door is a pattern called Tina, Taina, and it's this color, one skein, 3002. It's really unique in that it's got this rust color, then the bright turquoise, some greens and browns. That turquoise really just pops in with it. They all would be really great one skein projects. I got 3001. Just some nice, if you needed to do hats or scarves for somebody who didn't like the brights all the time. This is a good deeper tones, the deep grays, deep browns, orange mustard. This bright one, I feel like I had a sample knit up in something with this, but now I can't remember. But this is 33007. And last little baby, 3025. That's for my blue and green girls or guys. So, like I said, they sent me this reference card. So every time, make sure they're all on there. Every time I get these, I can look, you can look right on here. So that last one, 3025, is this one right down there at the end. So some have more colors, some have fewer colors, but they're all going to kind of do that stripy thing. It's the same yarn, Chandra. Yes, they're unique fingering. So my top was done in color. Where did it go? 3020, which is that one. No, that's not right. I lied. It's this one. 3021. Looks a lot more like it, doesn't it? Really nice. I have a lot of people that once they start knitting with some of Earth's yarns, they really like how springy it is. Zinnia calls for 860 to 990. So this top would be either 3 or 4 skeins, 2 or 3 skeins, depending. Yes, depending on what size you do. I would advise, this is a little bit of a downside to getting shop samples that I didn't knit or Karen or Deb didn't knit. I believe this one starts at the bottom and goes up and has a 3 needle bind off. I would bind it off much more loosely, and I may go back and do that now. The collar is pretty tight. I had to fight to get it over my head with my clips in my hair. And the bind off on the sleeves is a bit snug. The sleeves are kind of tiny, but those are both easy things to correct. Whether the pattern is written so it comes out this way or not, we can look at that. But picking up for those sleeves, because this is done in pieces, you can easily leave more open and pick up more stitches for sleeves. I will look through some of the projects. So I guessed right. That's pretty much what I said. The only thing I'm not sure about is how much this is going to block out. It went home with me because I did wear it here at the shop on Friday. So a few people saw this already, but I want to take it home and really give it a good soak and block it. I don't want people to think they can get away with only buying 2 skeins and get a lot more length out of it. I'd be cautious about that. So that's the unique fingering. Their self-striping yarn though we carry in fingering, DK, and a few colors in their worsted, but we can always order if there's a specific color you need. and they do the same colors on all three. So the fingering weight is 440 yards. The DK is 300 yards. The worsted is 220. They give me all of that right up there. And it's been a while since we talked about it, but the way they ply their yarns, one of the reasons they wear so nicely and they're so round is because it's a whole bunch of little plies twisted together. So the weight of the yarn is determined by how many of those smaller plies they hold. And you get the same look. Then they sent me some more gradients. Well, I ordered some more gradients and they sent them to me because I ordered them. But a few of you remember we talked about this, the garden trellis shawl that's knit from one of the gradient kits, which I don't have any of the blues right now, but this is the pretty purple Tammy was spotting. Isn't that gorgeous? The way they put these together, each of the kits has the pattern in there for the garden trellis shawl. Bev can attest to it. Once you get going and see what's happening, it's a pretty easy knit to do. I have had a couple people, Bev and my mom both, wanted to get more yarn to extend it beyond what the kit provided, but we were able to find things on the wall that coordinated nicely. So I got, each of these kits has 880 yards. Fingering weight, 450-gram skeins. So they retail for $52.99. Essentially, you're getting 2 full skeins worth. In terms of yardage and weight, it would be like 2 whole skeins, but they're 4 half skeins. So there's this. You know, I'm gonna have to get better with color names because I'll call that purple and this purple. I hope this looks more purple on your screen than it does on mine. On mine, it looks pretty blue, but it's very different from this. I don't know, you guys. This is more of a deep grapey purple, I guess. This is more like the bright magentas. These olive green colors. A couple weeks back. Yeah, Melissa's right. This is more like a hydrangea purple, which good. On my screen, it looks very blue. A couple weeks ago, Elaine finished a top that used a couple of these olive gradients. And she learned, like we all do, if you don't buy enough yarn at the same time, you may not get the same dye lot, and things might match up and they might not. So her one that she had to order had a very different look than the one she got originally. But these olive tones, her shirt turned out beautifully the way it gradiated. These beautiful golds. How great would those two look together too? That would be really cool. One of the things that I am working on, and I debated on whether I was going to talk about it or not, because I'm really good at visualizing what I think things are going to look like, and most of the time it comes out that way. So I have this plan to knit the Pure Local shawl essentially in just 2 colors. Because when you look at it, for the most part, every other section is garter. And every other section is some sort of a pattern. So I want to reknit it with just 2 colors. but make one of the colors a gradient because I'm a glutton for punishment. But I think you could very easily do the same thing with 2 kits like this. So you could stripe, work your way through the sections. You would have plenty of yarn with 2 kits, but alternating back and forth, I think that would be really, really cool too. And my plan for mine is this black and gray gradient with this burgundy yarn. So we'll see. Of which one? This big one? That's the Pure Local wrap that I was talking about before. I've had a few people kind of give me an uncertain look when I was trying to explain what I'm going to do with this. But that's not the first time that's happened. My track record is pretty good, even for the things when I show people and they go, okay, I trust you. My track record is pretty good that when I finish it, it looks really good and people are pleasantly surprised. My All Point South was definitely one of those. When I held the colors up, everybody went, huh, interesting. And I get comments on it all the time. So I'm trying to make myself finish my summer trellis top before I cast that on. We'll see. Other yarns that I got. So this yarn, the monochrome fingering, same yardage, well, 435 yards, fingering weight, 100% superwash merino. Any of their monochrome yarns look like this when you knit it up. So it's not striping, it's not a true gradient, but it's just kind of a faded gradient back and forth. The scarf is the Urban Scarf. This is a fingering weight version. We were looking online, I could only find the worsted weight version, but it's essentially the same thing. And it's really simple. Garter top, garter edges, stockinette middle. This is really fun because you don't have to actually do much. The yarn does it for you. Based on weight, I would say this takes 2 skeins. And I'm guessing right here is where they added their second one. I weighed it and it was like 191 grams. So pretty much used 2 full skeins. So that kind of color fade is what this is going to do too. And also, do you see that bin back there with that bright turquoise and the bright pink and that bright green and that beautiful purple? All of those are this yarn. I'm so excited for Stacy to knit project that she got yarn for the other day because we picked out some of those jewel tones for a very special shawl project. This in here would look nice. Yes, I agree. It would look nice in this top for people that were a little bit leery of bold stripes. This would give you a much more muted look. And because it's the same basic yardage, you'd be good. So last Saturday, well, a week ago Saturday, when is that just on the Earth website, Melissa? Oh, okay. On LYS Day, I had the card with some of the samples, or some of the free patterns from Earth. This was supposed to come before then, but it didn't. This is the synthesis scarf that came with the purchase of the yarn. So it's a combination of brioche and garter, 2 colors in Harvest DK. So it takes 2 skeins of the blue and 2 skeins of the green. In this case, it would take whatever your 2 contrast colors are. But I love how brioche gives you that totally opposite look. And with the way they did the garter, there really isn't a right side and a wrong side. So I do, I'm not going to go through all the colors of Harvest that we have here, but I have these colors and I have other colors as well. I am extending, I'm not extending, what would I call it? Still honoring free patterns from the shop for some of the ones that were for LYS Day, even though the codes are expired. If you get the yarn through the shop will gift the pattern to you. So this is one of them, the synthesis, just like the Rick Rack that we talked about last week. And this beauty, I didn't weigh this one. I'm thinking, I'm thinking it might be 3, maybe 4 skeins of Harvest. They didn't even say, or not, yeah. Harvest is all of their natural dyed yarns. So every batch is going to be different. And you know that for sure because they are all natural dyes. So it depends on where they're harvesting it from. But look at these cables. I think this is so interesting the way they have, it's not just a straight twist. And it just keeps going and going. It's, yes, you can wrap it around and still have a lot left very comfortably, and be able to show that off. It would be even better if I blocked it. Brenda, I know it's gorgeous. So I could weigh, I will probably weigh this one too and see how many grams it is. That'll give me a good idea of how many skeins it took. Although I imagine it says in the pattern. But I think that's, what a great use for single color yarn that you just want to show off because it is hand dyed. You don't see that. 3. Okay. Melissa said 3 skeins. Obviously with the natural color, you're not going to see the slight variations, but what do I have that up in the Harvest? Oh, my fireworks sweater. That coral color is the Earth Harvest. So you see obviously lights and darks for the hand dyed yarns. Oh, I got all kinds of beautiful things. Oh, so the monochrome, they sent me one of the color cards for too. And it's the same concept of fingering, DK, and worsted all can come in the same colors. But that gives you a better idea of what it's going to look like. Jackie got some yarn actually to do a top, a lightweight top. Well, it goes side to side, I think, in one of these colors. I think that's going to look really cool. But I think I'm pretty sure I have all of these except one of the 2 browns. I have 1 brown. I have this really cool taupey color. I have almost all of the other ones tucked back there. They're beautiful. I keep staring at the box of Malabrigo over here. Brenda, if you see Jody, tell her that I have her 2 skeins of blue that she wants. I am really in this trying to replenish the store and replenish the stock of things. I don't really have, well, I kind of talked about some techniques with modifying tops, playing with patterns. I feel like I haven't talked your ear off like I normally do. I apologize. So this one might be a little bit of a short one. I am out of the Cocoa Knits Makers boards, but I do have more on order. And I have more of the stitch markers on order. Of course, the large ones are out of stock. But I'm getting more of the flights of stitch markers, looking around and seeing empty spaces. I have more of the chunky pearl strings and the sweater packs of the pearl strings here. And yeah, I think what's 9 plus 7? I think next Monday I should be able to show my 4-day sweater to you. So that'll be exciting. And we can start kind of talking about potential yarns. Yeah. Victoria and I went for coffee this weekend, but it wasn't on Sunday. We went on Saturday because we were up at the campground. There's a coffee shop in Gladwin called Northern Espresso. They're not open on Sundays. So when we're in town, we try to get over there to give them our business. And we got breakfast sandwiches and yummy coffee. And they have, Gladwin's such a cute little town, besides the fact that they have a yarn store there. They have the coffee shop. They have a bulk food store that is reminiscent of where my mom used to take us down in Port Huron as kids. They just have the bins of things, and you can get a little bit of something. You can get a lot of snack food. Yet another place you should not go if you're hungry. But those are the local places that we went this weekend. Coming up over the next week, I don't think we have a whole lot going on. Kind of the next big event is going to be the 4-day knit along. And that starts July 1st. The end of July will be the middle of the mitten yarn crawl. And I'm hoping to get more information on that soon so I can tell you all about it. Holly, so the mix and master, for those of you that bought the Dream in Color kit, that was the fingering weight and the mohair, the mix and master. The pattern is on Ravelry. I'm having a little bit of an issue because the codes they gave me to give to you all expired. My alternative was going to be to purchase them through the shop and have them put in your Ravelry library, but they are not enabled for in-store sales, so I can't do that either. So I am working on it. Please know that. And I do have a PDF of the pattern that they sent to me, that Dream in Color sent to me, so I can print one off, but I do want to make sure that you get a digital version as well. It is such a cool pattern. I can't wait to see those knit up. Oh yeah. Nicole, when is Knit in Public Day? I wasn't sure if they were still doing that or not. Under the Radar came through last Thursday. We didn't know what to expect, but he did a 20-minute live walking through the entire marketplace. So he started down by the Falafel Hut and House of Serene. June 11th. Okay. Whew. So that might be my next thing. They started down by the Falafel Hut and House of Serene, and they worked their way through the entire market. He came in through the shop. I did share that video on the shop's page, but you can also go to the Under the Radar Michigan and see. They were in Saginaw for a few different things. They went to the zoo. He has featured Big O Burgers, which is here now, which I think is kind of cool. But it's fun. Hopefully it gets the word out and gets more people to know what a cool place this is and how much is in here. I know, Brenda, I was hoping it would be a whole episode too. Hopefully at some point he comes back to do something like that. I know they are coming back into Saginaw in a couple months. My real hope is, and Rachel's too, the marketplace manager, is that once they saw so much that was going on here, they would do an entire episode on the marketplace. I think that would be really cool. Oh, Judy, you watched it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I wish I wasn't behind the counter because I actually would have liked to say, hi and be on camera a little bit. I probably was looking forward to that more than Karen or the ladies here. They like to eat at the Maple Grill. Who doesn't, Holly? I wish I lived on that side of the town. Maybe it's good that I don't because I would go there a lot. Okay, so apparently June 11th is Worldwide Knit and Public Day. I better put that on my calendar and figure out what we're going to do for that. The way we took over last Saturday for LYS Day, I feel like we could just expand on that and really make a day of it. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Is it it's probably a Saturday. I think they usually do it on a Saturday. Yes. Oh, that's why. My daughter has 2 recitals that day at the Dow Event Center. So I might be knitting in public, but it may not be here. Okay. I think that's all I have to talk about today. I will have more yarn to talk about next week. I hopefully will have more notions. Oh, I did also get in the Cocoa Knits ruler sets for those of you that have the boards. Even if you don't, if you have any of the other magnetic boards, their magnetic rulers are really, really nice. And it comes with a set of 2, a larger one and a smaller one. Yeah, it's a busy day, Holly, for sure. But I will have things to talk about for sure. I'm never without words, am I? All right, I hope everybody has a good week. I know things are starting to get busy. The shop is getting busier too, which I love. I feel like people are getting out and about and I'm seeing more of your faces, which is fantastic. More and more often the table has knitters around it, which I love. And it just, it makes my heart happy to be here. It makes my heart happy to see all of you cultivating friendships with each other and supporting not only the shop, but small businesses inside and out. So I hope everybody has a great week. And if I don't see you in the shop, I will see you all next Monday right here. Bye.